The mind is very complex, very, very complex. So, whatever the info goes in, like you saw something, you read something, you heard something. So, all that info is going in the subconscious mind, and then at any given time, very randomly, especially in the dream state, from the subconscious, some information will be collected, retrieved, and what you see is actually not a story beginning from A and ending at Z. No, it's not like that. It's like that you are seeing various pictures coming in a very great speed. It's only on waking that we kind of create a story about all those images. Few you will forget what you saw. Few you will remember. Few it will be very vague. What was that? Your own thinking mind will question, what was that? Like seeing your dead grandfather alive and having a cup of tea with him. Now your active mind, or say the conscious mind, isn't even going to doubt or question that grandpa is dead. How come I'm sitting with the grandpa and having a tea? It's not real. No, no. When the dream will happen, it's your subconscious which is throwing all the drama, all the pics, all the information, smells, sights, sounds, taste, whatever you touched. So it creates a strange kind of unrelated information, and it's like a ball being thrown. So that's what various images appear in the. Some are very coherent, some are very illogical, and sometimes we create logic out of those images. So sometimes, now there is a very thin line difference in between the so-called reality and your illusionary or the reality created by the mind, or the dream sequences which you see, or even in the daydreaming, or even what's gone in your subconscious. So in what happens is that in dreams, you are not doubting anything, because there is no active intellect which is going to analyze what is being seen. So we can say the faculty of intellect is sleeping, the faculty of active thinking is also kind of in a comatose. And what's happening is it's the subconscious which is the ruler of the dream. So we in Vedanta say that mind is the king of dreams. And when we say mind, then there is one is the conscious mind with which we are functioning for our reality, the so-called reality, the days are spent with that. Then comes your subconscious mind, about which you have no information. Then comes the unconscious mind, of course, absolutely not an iota of information or understanding is there. Still with the humanity, this is something like an enigma, because what you are, your habits, your choices, your likes, your dislikes, your prejudices, your beliefs, your religion, your ideas, nothing is yours. Whatever went into the subconscious slithers into the unconscious. And now it's not just about one life. God knows how many lives we have lived up till now. Countless. So all the experiences in all those lives which we had is there in the unconscious. Now there is a fourth level of the mind which I call the macro mind. Macro mind means, if we combine, we can say that there is a one unit mind which we use. We say, this is my mind, right? But then there is a macro mind. Macro mind means the big cloth from where all these smaller pieces have been cut. So this unit mind is like part of that big mind. In yoga, the word for that is mahatattva. And loosely in English language, we say it's a big mind. In Vedanta, we call it Maya. Now, what's that there in the macro mind? Very difficult to know. What's there in your unconscious mind? Still very difficult to know. What's there in your subconscious? There are certain ways where we can pinpoint what we have in the subconscious. One of the method for that is, for a layman, it's the dreams. And for a practitioner, it can be Yoga Nidra. Or any other procedure of yoga where we are digging into the subconscious. But there are certain techniques with which we can make an access to the, of course, the dharana and the Yoga Nidra are two very, very powerful mediums, methods, tools to know what is there in your subconscious. So the dreams are part of the subconscious, not of the conscious. And not of the, there is just a make-believe illusionary show which your subconscious throws for you. And actually, from a psychiatric point of view, if a person is put into a situation where the person can't sleep and can't have dreams, and maybe in a 10 to 15 days, the person will actually go bonkers, will go crazy. So these dream sequences are the very, very important part, which actually is giving you some sanity, some relief. Like you wanted a dress, you can't afford, you saw it in a magazine, very expensive. And here in the night, you have a dream you're wearing that dress. Or there was a man you really liked. You can't even have an access. Beautiful person. But you saw it, so your mind creates a dream, and in the dream, you get married to that person. That person is with you and taking you in his private yacht. So the urge which the mind created in the waking state gets fulfilled sometimes in the dream state. And that's what a big relief. One man was sleeping, and he woke up, like naturally everybody does. So he just woke up from his sleep. But then he went back to sleep again. But then again he woke up. And then he again pulls the blanket on his head, tries to go to sleep again. And then very frustrated he gets up. He says, I can't sleep back again. Wife said, what's the trouble? He said, the trouble is this. When I'm sleeping, I'm a king. When I wake up, I'm a pauper. So I would rather like to live like an emperor than to live like a poor man. So I want to go to sleep so that I can see myself living in that big palace, having a crown on my head, having thousands of servants, and I'm so rich and have so much food and have so much money and so much gold. But the moment I wake up, I'm just a poor man. I don't wish to be a poor man. I wish to be that emperor. But this bloody sleep is not coming. So if sleep is not there, how can I dream? So that's the trouble. But the truth is that the dream sequences, in a way, are keeping you people, I'm saying all the humans, when I say you means the all humanity, some kind of relief, some kind of sanity, some kind of satisfaction. It's very silly, but it's a very satisfying. Like you wanted to go to a cruise, you can't afford, there is no holiday, you don't have money. But there you go, you in the sleep you are in that princess cruise going to Alaska. Right? And you have the one of the top premier room, and you are enjoying the delicacies of the ship. Now, whatever you saw in a magazine or a TV or some reel, so all that image is there in the unconscious and the subconscious, and in the dream, randomly someday the mind will create a situation, and you see your dreams getting fulfilled, your wishes getting fulfilled. You were very angry with the person and you punch that person in the dream. So whether a child or a young or old, everybody dreams. Some people say, no, no, I don't dream. The thing is, they do dream, but that dream sequence is happening in such a flux, and the quantity of the deep sleep, there is a cycle of the sleep. So maybe the cycle in which the person goes into very deep sleep is the time when the sleep is off. Hence, what happened before that is not recollectible by that person. So many people say, no, I don't dream, but that's not true. Everybody dreams, but some don't remember, some remember it so clearly that, like a child, they find it very difficult to differentiate in between the dream sequence or whether that person has woken up and is in a reality. Like in a dream, the child got a toy, and on waking up, there is no toy. So he'll keep on asking, Mama, where is my toy? I had my toy. So, no, you don't have. No, no, but I had it. So it's very difficult for the child to make the difference in between the dream sequence and the reality. For the child, everything is like flowing one to another. So now what happens is that like a spiritual person or who has a bent of towards the religion, and the person is now reading certain books, is listening to certain discourses, or is exposed to certain ideas. And sometimes you haven't done anything, but yet in your dream, you are seeing certain individuals. You're seeing a sadhu, you're seeing a swami, you are seeing a mystic. And this has been the case. I have heard this from many people who had no background of sadhus or meeting sadhus or even wishing to meet anybody and never even met. Yet the person is having a dream that he saw a sadhu. And now sometimes, again, your conscious mind will try to pinpoint what that person's identity was. Sometimes it matches, sometimes it doesn't matches. So the dreams can't be called totally just illusionary thing, because it has relationship to something which in reality happened somewhere. That incident, through a picture, through a story, through a lecture, through a video, that info which went in. And then when you see a certain dream, and then you see, oh, who are these people whom I'm seeing? And then at some time, you can, okay, maybe this is the person. Like you identified that this is Lahari Mahashaya whom you saw. And of course, this will trigger certain emotions. This will trigger certain feelings. But not necessarily that there is a very deep relationship which happened sometime and that's why you are having it. So it can be the informations which have gone in, and the kind of mind and the kind of informations which you have in your mind, your dreams will be similar to that. Again, there is another aspect to it. For example, there have been people who saw, like they dreamt about a certain master, they dreamt about a certain guru who is not even alive today. And sometimes the person is very much alive and they had a dream. And then they maybe meet the master, meet that guru, and they ask, you came in my dream. Now there can be two kinds of answers. One is where somebody unnecessarily will take the credit. Yeah, I appeared in your dream. Yeah? And be a show off that I can go into anybody's dream. Huh? And the other is that the person will listen and say that this whole world is so mysterious. So Whosoever appeared in your dream was maybe something similar to my face or what. So the world is always full of surprises, and so are the dreams. like like some people say the deja vu moments happening. Then they say, "Oh, it's a deja vu. I had been in this place. It seems like." Well, science says very different story. Science says that whatever information goes by the senses to our brain takes a certain time to process it. Like that day, I somebody like you meet somebody, and then you can't recognize the person, and but the person is so similar, and then you are wondering, and the person is talking to you like a great friend, and oh, we met there, and you are inside, "Oh, who are you? Can't even remember." And then suddenly in a flash you remember, "Oh yes, I met you at that place." But you hide the info that you didn't recognize the person initially. And sometimes people do say also, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." But then after a time, the recollection of the memory comes in. And so the mind scientists say that what you call deja vu is just delayed processing of your brain. And that's their opinion. That your brain is taking a little longer. Sometimes the glitches are there in your computer. So is this head a computer? So sometimes there is a glitch, so it's a processing little slow. And then, oh no, I know this person. I see him, I have met you someplace. Oh, maybe we are connected to one another from previous lives. But science says no, there is no connectivity, and it's just that brain is just taking little time. Where you recollect the info, and then it seems like deja vu. But there's a third opinion to that. And the third opinion is because the Western world doesn't believe in the past birth and the reincarnation, hence they have to say this. That is just your brain which is lazy and processing it, like taking time to conclude the information correctly. But if we go into that, we had other lives also. So we have met so many people, and then in this life, sometimes those people from our past life appear in this life. Hence, you feel that similarity, familiarity with that person. But there's another opinion to that. Your mind creates the projections, and your mind wants to believe what it projects. So if my mind is hell-bent to agree to something, that like this person I know from past life, then your mind projections will be so that you say, no, no, I have a connection with you from the past. All the lovers, the boy-girl lovers, they always, at least in the Indian scenario, they say, "Oh, we were like together in past lives also. And we will remain together in the next coming 7 lives also." Well, that's how they wish to see. And that's what they want to project. And that's what they want to believe into. That we are very much connected from our past lives. Maybe yes, maybe not. So I will just simply say this, that the letter which you wrote, that you saw these 2 masters in your dream. What about that? Again, you can pick from the 4 answers, the 4 opinions which I have given. Whichever you like, you can keep that one. It can be any, right? So in the Jainism, they say Syatvad. Syatvad means maybe this is right and maybe that is right. They say nothing is wrong. Maybe it is right. Maybe that is right. So it's always a maybe.